Hey, what's up everybody? Duck here. Welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday morning, noonish, whatever. Let me know if sound is good for everybody. Make sure music's not too loud in the background. Make sure voice is okay. Sup, Vice? Alright. Alright, cool, we good. Alright, let's get after it. So, Bitcoin up on the screen. We're on the 4 hour here. Whoops. Mouse is too sensitive. Alright. On the 4 hour here. Last time we checked up on this, we were concerned. Well, we have a square up here, but let's delete that for now. We were concerned with, basically we said, look, if we drop in here, we need to hold this, right? We didn't want to see ourselves fall into this zone, back test it as resistance, fall back out of it, back test it as resistance, and then fall again, right? That's like exactly what we didn't want to have happen, but it sure as shit did. And again, we did identify that it was probably due to this square up area down here, okay? Yeah, I didn't quite get to it, but again, that a lot of times is plenty close enough for an exchange to do what it has to do. And what we mean by that is the square up is just a break-even place for the exchanges that had to facilitate this price action to the upside. They now bring price right back down to that initial area where the bids set off from, and they square up the trades they had to facilitate, okay? They're like a bookie, right? Well, a bookie, what if everyone wins against the bookie? You know what I mean? The bookie can't stay in business like that. So the bookie, in order to, keep himself afloat, also makes trades or bets or hedges against the majority of the bets coming in order to protect itself or himself or its entity from getting, cleaned out if all of the participants are going in the correct way, and he has to facilitate that, okay? So this type of price action is the exchange bringing all that money back home that it had to give away. Yes, at the same time you were liquidating shorts here, but still you paid longs, right? It doesn't like paying anybody. So I'm going to get you up and then I'm going to get you back down. I got my square up, and now market participants, which have done nothing but go sideways since then, can now take this back to wherever they want, okay? Whether that be down or up, okay? So it's up to us to just attempt to identify the more probable course of direction for price. Depending, how we want to play this low here, right? This still put in a higher low from this previous, major discernible. If we make these discernibles, they're larger, right? You see how it's still this previous low, May 30th, 33,333, and now you have the June 5th low at 34.7, right? Again, we talked about the square up, but you still didn't even lose it. And as soon as you squared it up, right, V-shaped recovery, immediate follow through, up, try to push it back down, nope, bring it back up. You see, so it wasn't necessarily, again, about that wick down. It's more about this follow through, okay? So bringing these horizontal lines like this, okay? So you are in a position here where you're still painting these higher lows. You see what I mean? You're in this kind of no man's land here, of course, but I don't think you've lost your structure yet by any means, okay? Um, all right, so what do we need to see have happen in order to confirm that? You need to get back above these, okay? It's imperative that you get back above these levels. You've just been like messing with them, you know, in and out of this small little range here. If you take the range as a whole, right, you're just chopping within it, okay? Almost like a rectangle structure, right? And if you were this, right, you would be neutral and you would have a target to the downside, but you would also have that similar target to the upside. So, you know, it's not always a bad thing here. Again, what's good is that as soon as you kind of got that square up, you immediately just were bought right back up, okay? So that's what we wanted to see there if that event occurred, okay? So again, we need to get, you haven't lost any of the harmonic lows, you know what I mean? If you were in from just even, let's delete these two, right? If you were in just from these, this deep crab and this bullish cipher in blue, crab in white, okay, if you were in from this entry and this was your entry area, all you did was back test the top of it. You see what I mean? Like, it's not really that big of an issue here. The follow through would be deciding, okay? Follow through. If we start losing major lows here, major lows get jeopardized. Yes, of course, be concerned. And again, it depends where your entry was. See, our entries are down in these areas. So somebody with an entry up here is, yeah, a lot more concerned with this price action than somebody with an entry from here. Okay, yeah, you're giving some gains back, right? But you're still in profit, right? You're fine. It's just part of the trade, okay? So we need to um, we need to break these highs on these harmonics. Okay, you see this gray box up here? That's basically this cluster of highs that these harmonics have created. You see? So, you know, maintain here, get back above, 36.5, square up at 37.5, get back above that, square up at 39.250, hold that, right? And then eventually find yourself up in this zone of 4,000 to 42K, right? This 42K right there. Do we think it's still a possibility? Yes, absolutely. Okay. Bigger picture here. This is still just kind of, I mean, this is normal for a dragon structure like this, okay? We're still aiming for this ultimately this 55K area up here, okay? Right here, 55 almost exactly, okay? So get above these areas, get above this area. We're going to have this resistance at 50K, okay? Get above that, and then, maybe that's where we get 50K, all right? What you do not want to see is these harmonics get lost, okay? You have not jeopardized the harmonics yet. It's basically 33333, okay? You're sitting at 35, so it's 2,000 away. So you don't want to go down another 2,000 for sure. And if you do and you back test this as resistance, like it's pretty much a wrap, okay? Bail out. That would be, you'd be back at break even, small loss, that's whatever, right? That's part of the game. We're looking for small losses in the matter of large gains, okay? Small losses with big runners, all right? Small losses, big runners. That's how we play this game. ETH. Again, just eternally ranging sideways here. You came up, found the top of it, fell below it, back tested it as resistance, failed, right? Came right back to it though, got back in it, tested that midpoint, now regarding it as support, back to the high, found the high, back to the midpoint, failed again, regarded it as resistance, failed again, back in, midpoint, failed, bottom again, range bottom, midpoint, range high. Okay, really regarding the range. Okay, back to the bottom, higher lows, back to the mid, regarding the mid, hanging out right in the middle. Okay, I know that's messy, but that's just some sideways choppy chop. Okay, so everything's okay there for the most part. All we need to see now is, of course, we do not want to lose this. Okay, you don't want to lose the range. Okay, we've almost done it a couple times here, and it's bad when it happens, right? So instead, we want to hold the mid for a final time, get back to this top, get through it, and then we can see this high side. Okay, this is our critical confirmation. All right, if we can get this, we are a go. Okay, somebody that's not in a position yet on ETH, that is your go right there. Okay, depending on what you're targeting, you may have to have a stop 3 to 1. Yeah, you could do 2.5 to 1 and use the range midpoint as your stop if you're taking a top off the top of it, a long off the top of it. 2 to 1, still okay. You might want to bring this higher, 2.5 to 1. Take the top of this resistance, the square up all the way to the top up there. See that? Okay. Yeah, that's ETH for the moment. Again, you're like right on that trend line. So this is a good critical area, right? So you don't want to be back testing this as resistance and then sell off. Okay. So it's critical here that this upsloping trend line is not as critical as our horizontal stuff, okay? But it still would be good to have held that and kept running it, but whatever. Again, the main goal here is this top 2900. Okay, this 2900 overhead critical resistance level is the most important thing right now. Okay, we got to get back above that if you want to see higher prices on ETH, the Russian shitcoin. Okay, ETH to BTC. Again, this is why we have faith in ETH here, because ETH to BTC is still looking decent as far as price action continuation to the upside. Okay, so we got out and above this critical area, okay, which was acting as resistance. You finally broke it. Maybe you back test it one more time. That would be fine. It's whatever. But ideally, you want to sweep these highs now. This previous harmonic, you want to sweep these highs, get above them, and that's how you could get yourself into this profit-taking area, okay? So you don't want to lose this 0.073 area. It's this major high right here, okay? You don't want to lose that. You don't want to fall back below it, okay? So you don't want that to happen. You could back test it, sure, that's fine. Let's just get back above it, okay? Let's try and break some more levels. All right, moving on to Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin. Again, you had this initial low, right? May 19th. You put in the real low, May 23rd. And now you got this slightly higher low, inverse head and shoulders, right? Kind of making this right shoulder of the inverse head and shoulders on May 30th, okay? Now, you've rallied up. You kind of made the neckline already. You rallied up above it, broke through, back tested it, rallied again, ran into this down sloping trend line, sold off, came back down to this kind of right shoulder area, and now you're just kind of hanging out right there, okay? So ultimately, though, it's still, higher lows, right? Higher lows, higher lows. So as long as you continue to keep painting these higher lows, that's a good sign that you haven't completely, failed here. You don't want to lose this like right shoulder area. There's a square up down here at 131. You don't want to be down there, right? You don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose this. If you do, you're going to end up right here at 131, okay? Don't want to see that. So in order to confirm that that's not going to happen, you need to get back above these levels. Stat, okay? Get out of here. Break above these previous support resistances and ideally make your way to that ultimate 225 area. You're, approaching some, you're in this just kind of sideways chop right here. So it's whatever, but you really don't want to lose like even 160. That already start to be concerning, okay? All right, Litecoin. SOL, Sol. Okay, guys, look, you hit the top of the golden zone just now, this past 4 hours. Okay, what are we talking about there? Where we take our swing high, right? Our discernible swing high on May 18th, and we fib to our discernible swing low on May 23rd, okay? So from the discernible swing high to the discernible swing low, we have a golden retrace zone, okay? This golden retrace zone you can see occurs between the 382 and the 618, all right? We have hit the 618 golden mean ratio, golden retrace, not golden mean ratio. That's the 1618. That's up overhead. So yeah, look, you've hit it and you're now starting to sell off. This doesn't mean this is a top area, but it's definitely a critical fib. I mean, okay, so what can happen here? If you hit a 618 like this, you could be painting a Gartley. Okay, that's why we love 618s. Because if you do happen to sell off here, you can have a Gartley. Okay, so what would that do? You'd go X, A, okay, up to the 618B. Perfect 618. And then you'd sell off somewhere between the 382 all the way to the 886. So right back in here into this zone, right there into the 618 again, coming back at you. And then you'd rally up and you'd look for the 786, 786, 786, right there, right at that spot, okay? So if this occurs on Sol, it's over, like way over, like it's over, okay? That would be a massive Gartley, okay? So we don't want to see that. What we want to see is price just continues on up, okay, and invalidates the 618. You find the 786, you end up at the 886. You continue like now. There's no more harmonic, okay. So that's how you get rid of this death trap. But yeah, I mean, if you see this and you get back into this area and we find some kind of divergence happen, we take a long again and we long it right up to this 786. And it's this critical previous looking back left right here, previous high, okay, right at that 786. So at that point you would have a harmonic on a critical, not critical, but significant time frame. And you would have, so you have a harmonic, right? Your pattern development on a significant time frame at a critical horizontal line looking back left resistance area, $50 psychological round number. And if you have bearish divergence right here, get the fuck out of here. This is going to be it, okay? So it's a little concerning, sure, So if this starts selling off and then it bounces and paints a lower high than this previous high, and you have this massive inverse or this massive head and shoulders on top of a Gartley at a critical horizontal line, and you get divergence on the oscillators, it's over, bro. It's over. Speak in español. I don't know if I could do this TA in Spanish. I could probably get close, but like 3 people understand it, maybe more. Okay. Yeah, whoa, that's nasty. Okay, so we gotta watch out when you get Gartley 618s like this, because the only thing that has a 618 on a B is a Gartley. Nothing really else. It's really characteristic, especially then the D would have a 786. Okay, and if you look, that would also coincide with a 1414. Where do you get the 1414? From the B high to the C low, you get that red 1414. Okay, so yeah, we better watch out. Throw some alerts on that shit in case it happens. All right. How do I know Bitcoin's going to crash? We didn't say Bitcoin was going to crash. We said Bitcoin was going to go to 55K. There's no crashing there. We said Bitcoin's going to crash if we start losing the harmonic lows, okay? That's when we would say Bitcoin's going to crash. Right now, Bitcoin's painting higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low. We're not talking about Bitcoin crash yet. Okay? AVAX, AVIX, AVAX. Ugh. See that 13113 of a shark? Bastard. Okay, now ideally we reverse. See, look, the exchanges got wrecked on this shark, right? XABCD, you sold off. All right, so as an exchange, you are owed a square up right here, where you had to facilitate this sell off. Okay, so the exchanges need to bring this price back to $36 so they can exit at a break-even price here. Okay, in order to do so, they need a rally. Okay, so we put the initial low May 19th, then the lower low May 23rd, then the inverse head and shoulders right shoulder of the larger inverse head and shoulders on May 30th. Now we just painted a slightly higher high. So, I mean higher low. So we had the low, higher low, higher low, okay? What we don't want to see have happen here, okay, is you don't want these lows broken. All right, we don't want to see those lows broken. We need to come up and square up next right here at $20. Okay, let's get to $20. Maybe we back test, go to 20 again, and that's when we can get above it. Okay, after 20, we're gonna go to 25. We need to hold 25. After 25, we could find ourselves at 35. Okay. No, I cannot recommend a reliable broker in Europe. BitMEX. Okay, so trade for yourself, be your own bank. You don't need a broker. That's just somebody that's going to middle you for nothing. You are the value in the situation. You'd be telling the broker what trade to place. Broker might even be following your trades and charging you to do so. Take time into your own hands. You could make a trade while taking a dump. You can also set a stop loss and a target during a wipe. So there's no excuse to not be your own bank. That's my recommendation for a reliable broker. It is you. Okay. You know, we don't want to lose these lows at 16. especially down here at 15. Okay, so ideally, let's get some bids to step in here. Okay, rally up, get that 20, get above that 20, paint some kind of inverse head and shoulders, or head and shoulders, just absolutely nuke it. 25. FTM. I don't like this back test of this trend line. Okay, you see this? We need to get that and invalidate it fast. How? By getting to this square up. Okay, that means we're back above it. Okay, so if we can get to that square up and start running this up, you know, we can do what we were doing before, right? If we fail here and we stay below it and we even start losing the previous, right, we're gonna find ourselves probably at the stop at 25 cents. Okay, so we have a square up here at 37 cents. We need to get up and above this, and then we can rally, because you can see that's just a major area for us. Okay, so let's get back above 37.5 cents, and then ideally we'd be targeting that psychological 50 cents. We'd find ourselves in the golden retrace zone at that point between the 382 and the 618. 50 cents. It's also the 50. The 50 at 50. What do I think about Bitcoin? Rewind the stream. FTT. Okay, here you go. You're butting up against some, again, areas that have been acting as resistance. Once was support. Once the support again is now resistance. Just some nasty sideways range chop here. Okay, so we need to get out of this clutter, and this clutter is really this $35 area. Okay, so we need to get back above 35, and ideally we're targeting 45 still. Okay, we have not lost this low. We wicked down towards it, but that was it. Okay, immediately bids came in, bought it right back up. So yeah, I mean, we had this low on price, higher low on price, higher low on price. Let's get above here and we can see the golden zone, measured move, golden zone, on our way to eventually hopefully even higher prices, right? One step at a time. We need to first get back above $34 and then $35. Currently sitting at $33.50. My portfolio is a mixture of every asset you're looking at in the stream. Hence why we're covering them. Okay, so SNX continuing to paint higher lows, low, higher low, higher low. This one, unlike, what was it? Not Litecoin, not AVX, FTM. You see how FTM is butting up below this upsloping trend line? Well, on SNX, you're holding the trend line still, okay? You see how you haven't, on, what was that, FTM or whatever? It's below it. So SNX is holding up a little stronger. Again, though, you still need to get above this $11 area. And then next you need to get above this $14 area, okay? Those are your next, you know, really you have this square up at 1275. That ideally will be your reason to get back above that, okay? Then you'll use that square up and ideally flip that, and that'll be your reason to get to this next square up, which is 13,618. Then you chop around there for a while, get above the, you know, real resistance, okay, at $14 even. If and when you can hold all that, now you can talk about your golden zone, okay? Your golden zone is between 1550 and 1950, okay? So ideally, this is where, you know, we'd probably lock in some in, taking a little off the board in here, okay? SNX. XLM stellar lumen. Low, lower low, higher low. Change in the structure. We had this low, again painting a higher low. Now we just need to get back above this level. Okay, there's a square up here at 42 cents. Let's use that square up as our SR flip. SR flip. Okay, this just congestion area. This would be the third one, and then we rally to higher prices at 54-55 cents. Okay, so yeah, again, we really don't want to lose this low here at 34 cents. We attempted to go after it, right? But so far have not been able to, the bears were not able to push price below it yet. Okay, that would get us bearish. We don't want to see that. Okay, it's not that we would short it per se, it's just that we need to reevaluate our situation. You don't hold any stables. Yes, I have a lot of stables. Just because we're looking at assets doesn't mean I'm all in on these assets. I'm in for a percentage of my overall trading portfolio for each asset. Never should one be all in on anything at any given time, regardless of the asset, unless you're insider trading. But you can't do that on Bitcoin. So yeah, most of these trades have 2% of portfolio. The largest one, Bitcoin, has 6%. There's a bunch of 2%s and then a 6%, and there's a 4%. It's dog. The majority is Tether per always. Right. Okay. XLM, we covered it. Inch. 1 inch. Upsloping parallel channel. We got back to this 50% heart line of it, regarded it as resistance, right? Fine though. It's even if we sell back off here again, we're probably going to hold this. By the time you get down here, you'll probably reset on a low enough time frame that it could still maintain upsloping trendline support. But ideally, we need to flip this, and we need to flip this midpoint of this heart line of this parallel channel, like we did in the beginning of it, right? We want to see this price action repeat itself right in this zone, which is our X marks the spot. $5. $5 is still on the menu. Whoops. $5 still on the menu for inch. If we fib from our discernible swing high May 8th high to the May 23rd low, you can see between the 382 and the 618, we butted right up against the 382, and that was it. That was it, and no more. But that's okay. Next time we get to it, ideally we'll get in there, okay? And then this is how we end up at this price, $5. It doesn't have to go straight up to this X. We don't care about duration, right? All we care about is eventually getting ourselves into this gray box, okay? Algo okay, so we had this structure that we painted this low, garbage low. We painted this low, right? Lower low, higher low, inverse head and shoulders as structure. We got this neckline. We broke it, break, hook, back tested. Here's the hook, and now we need the go, okay? Give me the go. All right. So, okay, so algo really, and look, you're back testing that right now really nicely and holding it. So we just need to maintain that. You can see that was these previous highs, right? Where traders settled up, previous highs where traders settled up, even here. That's what we're back testing right now as support. So that is good. What was once resistance is now support. That's that's how we do things. So now we have this smaller downsloping trend line that we need to break out of. But eventually, yeah, we find ourselves, we were once in the golden zone for a small period of time. You can see fibbing from the duck to the low. The golden zone is the between the 382 and the 618. Okay, golden, just common retrace area. Okay, so we got in there once, and then Bitcoin sold off, but all we did was back test the previous highs, previous resistance as support. So we broke through, back tested, broke again, back tested again, and now we're ready. Okay, so this is good. What do we not want to see? Of course, we don't want to see ourselves lose this, right? And then find ourselves at these levels and lose those. Okay, this would be bad. Even this would be bad, right? That's how we invalidate. Okay, right now though, we are actually looking just fine. You've even kind of somewhat caught this upsloping trend line all the way. You see that? You're almost regarding it, depending where you anchor it, right? But you're really regarding it nicely again, as you were on SNX, right? Upsloping trendline support. So algo's doing that same thing. Unlike what you saw on FTM where you're below it, right? Algo and SNX and algo are above it. Okay, so that's much better signs of strength as far as comparing those three assets at this given moment. Dragon. We've been watching this crap. Okay, because why? It's a meme. We have a dragon on dragon. Dragging my nuts across. So, you know what I mean? So, like, here's your downsloping spine, downsloping trend line, right? The spine. You broke through it. You back tested it as support. Now you rallied, you got above this first area, back tested that. Now we have this second area of resistance that you butted up against. Now we just back tested the low side again, held it, confirmed it, and now we're back at this midpoint. We need to get back up here to the high side, and then if we can get above this, you'd figure at some point the supply is just gone, right? It's going to diminish. There's nothing left there, right? So you'd think that now that we get back to this area, we can get above it and find ourselves at that next range high square up there. You can see it right here. Okay, that's exactly the target zone. All right, dragon on dragon. GRT. Again, you're just painting higher. You had this low on May 23rd, higher low on May 30th, and now you've painted a higher low last night, whatever, June 5th. Yeah, yesterday, last night, I don't know. So GRT, you would like yourselves to hold this now, right? And then get above this next, what was once critical resistance. Let's get through it this time, and then we can aim for that $1.20 area. Okay, on GRT we have this nice square up level up here that we're aiming at, $1.25, $1.25 area. Okay, so yeah, that's GRT. Really, this critical overhead resistance is the next major area of interest right here at 85 cents. Okay, 85 cents. You must flip it. Right now, you still have your stop down here at 58 cents. You wouldn't want your stop up here yet, right? That's just too close. Price is still right there, right? So you need your stop. You need room to breathe. Let this chop happen and let it find itself, okay? Dog. All right, dog. We've been watching the dog because, okay, so look, the Coinbase listing, all right? Yes, stream is being recorded. Yes, believe, just to confirm. I hope we're being recorded. We usually are. Sometimes I forget, but it's rare. Usually I'm pretty good about recording the stream. MASA 83. Give it a second. it'll go live, or so you could basically, this is like a DVR, right? You could record, you could just zoom back and forth to whatever asset you're looking for. We always start with Bitcoin, like top three, like Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, and then we go into some of the more major, you know, shit coins, into the more non-major shit coins at the end. Okay, so all right, we basically, I mean, we had this huge rally. Okay, huge rally where we got all the way up to like 75 cents. Okay, and then you sold all the way back off to 20 cents, right? You lost a substantial amount, 75% of your value. Okay, but now Coinbase lists the dog, right? And Coinbase probably already had accumulated, but they're definitely accumulating right here, right? In this sideways. This is just the market maker accumulating his position while everybody's crying and selling because this is just getting nuked and whatever. So ideally, because of this news, this is just such a all right, crypto right now, yes, the tech is cool and all that shit, whatever. But um, you know, what really matters here is um the momentum, right? Tech isn't driving the asset class yet because there would be no selling. It would just be up only forever, right? But there's obviously selling. Why? That's because it's a trader's market here, okay? But even though this is a trader's market, this is still a momentum driven asset class. Okay, so it goes for Bitcoin too. So when the Momo is bullish, the traders come in, and trend is your friend, right? The Momo is up, we're in up only territory. Okay, when the momentum lacks, the shorts are on, we push the price down. Okay, simple as that. Momentum driven asset class. So, this being said, we're looking at the dog here, and we need, um, we need the momentum to step back in here, okay? Get this parabolicness to occur again. Let's see where we could, something like this, okay? So, some parabolic trending needs to occur here very soon. And I feel like it's going to, okay? Why? For one, you're kind of, you have this downsloping trend line, right? That your price is like contracting, right? Like a spring, your coil, you're contracting like a spring. You're ready to just spring, right? It's either going to spring up or down, of course, but why do we say spring up? Well, if we look from this previous low, right, on price, we're looking at this momentum island, right? Negative momentum island. And then we look at this other much larger negative momentum island, and you see price made a higher low. Okay? So that is class C hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour. Whenever we see this in this situation at previous horizontal line support, 4 hour hidden bullish divergence, okay, after a major listing like that, I mean, this is everything is set up on this for a nasty one, okay, guys? So you need to get some exposure here. Don't get crazy, don't get greedy, because you'll end up getting stopped out right before the party starts, right? Something stupid like that'll happen. There's no need for that, right? Just get yourself some exposure and ride the gains, okay? I feel like we're due for one of them. Even if it's not that high and we just get it right to here, okay? This is still 30% gains, and it's probably going to be better than that, but I mean, that's what we're looking at right now on the dog, okay? We're expecting 4 hour hidden bullish divergence to play out. And look, if we go to the 3 hour, hidden bullish divergence. We go to the 2 hour, look at this momentum. It's like eventually you're going to just have a big island here or a big island here. You're really contracting yourself, okay, for a pretty substantial period of time, okay? So you should have some dog exposure here. Um, it's the risk to reward here is worth it, because I seriously doubt that when it hits this just common retrace, that's gonna be it. This might be like, this might be when you get that stupid dollar. I don't know. The momentum on these things are crazy, okay? And how do we? What do I mean by this? It's when we fib from this previous high on May 8th, and we fib to the low on May 19th. This is where that 1618 at $1.06 is gonna come into play, okay? So that is more about what we're looking at here, okay? Doesn't it even like doesn't it even look Fibonacci-ish? Like, I don't know. I could just see this like Fibonacci structure. I don't even know what stupid tool it is. There's some other one for it. Frick. I don't even know how to use it. One of these suckers does it though. I don't know how to use it. How do you use it? How do you use it? I don't know. You see what I'm saying though? Like, I can see that in my mind. Like, I could just see the Fibonacci. Okay. One day you will too. All right. XRP. Massive inverse head and shoulders, slightly higher low. Ideally, oh, look at that. I love when you see that kind of stuff. It's like inverse head and shoulders on the MACD. You almost did it twice. We like to see that. And 4 hour, probably borderline hidden bullish divergence. Oh yeah, you got it. Slightly lower low. Oh yeah. So price puts in a much higher low with a slightly lower level of negative momentum. Hidden bullish divergence. Did you get it on the RSI? Nope, just convergence on the RSI. But that's okay. It's usually like that. Yeah, golden retrace zone. Square ups, $1.50 probably going to be in the cards here. High to low, 618 is at the measured move. Okay, that's the kicker. The 618 measured move is $1.30. I'll see you at $1.30 on XRP. All right. Stop loss for Dodge. Oh man, I hate having to give you guys that answer, because a lot of times the answer that I have to give you and my stop loss aren't the same thing. So I really don't like having to answer that question. And here's why. My stop loss is my liquidation doesn't exist, okay? So when you have a liquidation that is non-existent, because it's only such a small percentage of your overall position, overall trading stack, right? That like sometimes it's not that I don't trade without a stop. It's just, I mean, my stops are really wide. It's really like I'm trading on spot, okay? Even though there's leverage there, the stop and the position size and just the percentage at risk, right? It's minuscule in percentage to the total amount. So if you need to do that, and by doing so just means you're in for such a small position size, so be it. All right, it be like that sometimes until you grow. That's your means. Understand your means, trade within them. So like right now, I don't my stop okay, my stop loss is seeing these stops get hit, okay? When the macro structure starts to fail, okay? When I see Litecoin start to just get just absolutely devastated, Bitcoin's getting devastated, I pretty much get out of everything, right? Let it cool down. But when everything's like, I mean, kind of doing what it's supposed to be doing here. I mean, Sol's kind of an exception, but Sol's also way ahead of everything. So it's not fair to use Sol as an exception. It's already up here at its targets. That's why it's starting to retrace. Its neckline was down here. It's already played itself out. You know what I mean? From this high to low locally. So you're hit the 1618 right there. You know what I mean? So like Sol, use it as a head short then or something right now. You know what I mean? It's there. These assets aren't all at the same place. Sol is showing almost bearish divergence. You see that? You're almost bearishly diverging on Sol. Bearishly diverging on Sol. Whereas on Dodge, you're hidden bullish diverging. They're not at the same place, okay? But that being said, I mean, you got this cluster down here. You probably don't want to lose that, okay? You have a square up above it. See the square up above it? That might get tagged, okay? It just might. You might dump into this and then get back above it and go, right? I don't know. Something like that could happen. I wouldn't want to see this low, price trading below that, okay? 28 cents, even really 30 cents, right? So something like that. You just always want to use these major swing low failures and pivot points, anchor points, discernible swings as your stops if you want to be more conservative. Depending on your leverage, right? You can't use these if you're on 25x. Your stop would be like right here, and it's going to get hit, and then it's going to go, right? So you're just stupid playing on high leverage. All you do is you lose a lot of money getting stopped out you shouldn't even have a stop in this area. You know what I mean? Like, so that's already problem number one. Again, like I told some of you guys, if you're having trouble with leverage or you find that it's just kicking your ass sometimes, just spend 2 months. Just give me 2 months. Trade on spot for the next 2 months. At the end of that, reevaluate. How was my previous year versus this previous 2 months? Which one made more money? Which one was my stress level higher in? Which one did I have more time with my family during? And your answer, you'll know your answer without even having to ask yourself those questions at the end of all that. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it right there for today. And yeah, let's pump the dog. Send the dog. Well, everybody's afraid of the dog because it's just been bleeding itself off, right? Just been bleeding off, but is now turning sideways. It's kind of uptrending now, actually. Yeah, let's send it. Let's break out. Let's back test. Let's start making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Okay. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll catch you guys back in the Discord. Ducks out.